So ngayon, medyo free-flowing ang episode natin dahil ang theme ng episode natin is realizations of a middle-aged Filipino professional.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
hi everybody!
Hello!
Hi.
And welcome to
RETIRONARYO.
Ako po si Mimi
Jarvis?
with a special guest
Ana?
who will be talking about a topic that is quite different. Kasi Ana, dito sa RETIRONARYO, ang focus ng ating show is all about investing, saving, budgeting, financial literacy. We are advocates of that for Filipinos in general, OFW specifically, and for anybody who is interested in learning more about how to start planning for their future. So, dito sa episode na to, which is episode 37, we have Ana as a special guest na pumunta pa sa Australia para lang mapasama sa RETIRONARYO.
Yes, very special episode.
Carry nyo yan? Carry nyo yan? Very recently,
Malakas sila sa akin.
in a previous episode, nagpunta po kami sa Singapore. Alam niyo po yun. Ngayon naman, nag-import kami ng guest from Manila to Australia. So, ngayon, medyo free-flowing ang episode natin dahil ang theme ng episode natin is realizations of a middle-aged Filipino professional.
Yes.
In terms of yung personal experience mo. Because here in RETIRONARYO, we try to get as close as possible sa mga personal experiences para hindi invento ang content natin. Number one. Number two, dun sa ating usual disclaimer, we are not financial advisors. So, ang content namin is based on our personal experiences and yung sharing through research yung mga nababasa natin, pinag-aaralan natin, and yun nga, direct experiences from our guests. So, hindi naman ikaw ang first guest namin. We have other guests na in the show. Pero in terms of professional in the field of education, because you've been in the education sector for a long time, maganda ng insight yan, yung buhay ng mga teacher. Okay, so dive na tayo sa mga questions natin kay Ana. Ana, give them a little bit of an idea kung ano yung tinuturo mo, gaano katagal ka na sa teaching industry, at bakit teaching ang napili mong profession?
Okay, first question is how long have I been teaching? I've been teaching for 26 years. Now, I'm not really a teacher by profession. As my first profession, rather, I'm a nurse by profession, non-active practice at that. So what happened was after a year of not being able to practice my profession, my mom, my late mom, encouraged me to take up teaching. Because according to her, teachers don't, run out of any posts. They would always have teaching posts, which I could actually say that it's true until K to 12. That was the transition.
Nawindang ang mundo.
Right, nawindang ang mundo. Okay? So, what was the other question?
So, bakit mo napili na mapapunta sa sector na to? Is it a lifelong dream of yours to teach hearts, transform lives through education?
It was never my dream. It was my mom's dream. I actually just took education because I was like unemployed for 6 months. And she told me, anong balak mo sa buhay mo? Magtrabaho ka ba o hindi? Okay po, magtrabaho. Kumuha kang education. Okay po. So it was just to simply shut her mouth. But then eventually I came to like the profession and it's been 26 years.
Okay, so in the 26 years, what can you say is the difference between students of when you were still a young teacher, ng mga medyo unang panahon, at ano naman ang characteristics or diferensya or hindi naman diferensya, anong kaibahan ng mga students ngayon na nandito na tayo sa 2022?
I think students before know what the role of a teacher is and they appreciate the role of the teacher in their lives. Now, students find that it's actually their role to question their teachers.
Dati bawal ngayon naman.
But it's not, I don't take it against them because it's their right. No, at least they're the ones questioning you, not their parents. So it means to say at least they have that sense of assertiveness.
Okay. And in terms of yung levels naman, did you teach in elementary or did you
I
teach in
taught
higher
all
education?
levels.
All levels.
Elementary, I taught high school, I even taught preschool for a while.
So, sino ang pinakamasarap turuan?
Preschool, syempre.
Okay. Kasi love na love ka, di ba?
Yes.
And they question less probably.
Yes.
Okay, going forward naman to present time, ano ang mga challenges in teaching in a COVID environment? Yung mga synchronous, asynchronous na mga nalalaman natin, online, hybrid, face-to-face.
Personally, since I'm not technologically challenged, I did not have a hard time doing the transition from face-to-face to online because I could easily find my way online. The problem is, since students are not compelled, they are not obliged to turn on their cameras. There have been times wherein you would ask a question and nobody would answer. And you don't really have any idea why nobody's answering. Maybe they're asleep, I don't know. But you couldn't actually force them to answer. So more often than not, my question, my answer. But that doesn't happen often. I think that's the only struggle I have. And I guess the very struggle I have as a teacher is, do my students really learn? Because there's no way of me checking face to face. Like I could verify that, facing them.
Okay. So ngayon naman, nagtagal ka sa teaching profession for 26 years. Masasabi mo bang lucrative ang career na yan? Lucrative in terms of financial satisfaction?
Lucrative if you get permanent at an early age. It also depends on the kind of lifestyle that you're wanting to pursue. So it all depends. Kasi in my case, I did not get permanent.
So, sa public school ka ba nagturo or sa private school?
It has always been in a private school.
Okay. So, sa Pilipinas, saan ba mas malaki ang sweldo? Private or public?
Now public. But when I started, private.
So, nakikita mo yung difference ng working for a public institution, educational institution versus private education institution?
I can compare the two, not because I work in the public, but I do have friends who work in public schools. And I can compare their status in life financially compared with the status of those who are teaching in the private sector who are part-timers like me.
Okay, so bago natin tutuloy yung mga specific to budgeting, saving na mga questions natin, dun sa mga ka-tune in lang na meron kayong mga teachers din na friends or members of the family, let them listen to this episode para marami silang matutunan from our special guest all the way from the Philippines. Diba? Let's go naman dun sa ating mga financial related question.
Okay.
Nung bang young teacher ka hanggang ngayon, what is your idea of savings? Nung bang younger teacher ka, nakakapag-save ka na ba? Considering na bata ka pa, siguro yung rank mo as a teacher is not yet that high, so yung salary level mo is not yet that high. Would you say that over the 26 years, marami ka nang na-save hanggang ngayon?
Ang na-save, whatever I save, somehow there would be events in my life that would actually draw it out. Or drain it out.
Derail yung savings
whatever.
plan mo.
Yes, that's the problem. Simply because as a part-time teacher, your load varies per sem, per term. So during, if you're projected that, for example, the following semester or term, there will be lean months, meaning to say, instead of getting 12 units, you'll get 3, 6. So you have to save everything that you have for those times that you're really earning that much to prepare you for the lean months. So by the time the lean months would be over, whatever you save, wala na siya.
So, ano naman ang buffer plan mo for the times na less ang load na binibigay sa'yo? Halimbawa, from 12 to 3, that's a significant drop.
Yeah.
How do you compensate for the amount na you've lost because of the lack of load?
I get additional load somewhere else.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, you need to be within multiple employment, not just one single employer, para lang ma-meet mo yung gap dun sa hindi maibigay ng isang mong employer.
Yes,
so,
that's
may
true.
tanong ako, sa mundo ng teacher, ano din ba yung pagkuha ng loan sa SSS? Yun ba
madali ba kumuha ng loan?
Hindi. Kasi yung ibang mga lagi ko naririnig na SSS loan, kailangan ko mag-personal loan. Yan ba
culture lang ba ng mga
ba
teacher na mahilig
sa
sila mag-loan or not necessarily?
I think it depends because I do have friends who keep on getting a loan.
Sa SSS?
Sa SSS or GSIS. But I do have a friend, hindi ko na i-name of course, na public school teacher siya, pero yung ATM niya nakasanla. Uso yung sanla ng ATM. Which is sad considering na public school ka na, dami nyo ng benefits, nagsasanla ka pa rin.
So, ano ang mga reason bakit sila nag-loan? Dahil ba sa kulang ang pera or gusto lang talaga nilang i-avail yung SSS loan dahil isa sa mga benefit?
Kasi usually, pag galimbawa hindi ka pa naglo-loan, they would encourage you, may marinig ka, mag-loan ka kasi pag di mo ginagawa, may ibang maglo-loan. So, sabi niya, sige, maglo-loan ako, ganyan.
Pero hindi naman talaga kailangan.
Hindi naman.
Parang-
So,
Parang-
nababaon ka sa utang.
Parang ganun nga yung naririnig ko dati.
Oo. Kasi ganun din ako nag-start. Ganun ko siya ginamit. Kasi sabi sa akin, gamitin mo. Kasi meron dito, hindi niya ginamit, only to find out kung maglo-loan siya na may gumamit at hindi binayad.
So that's a parang side of corruption in a way na
Right.
unknowingly naging victim ka na hindi mo pa nagagamit yung pera na pwede mong i-access.
Pero gusto ko lang idagdag na siguro yun yung isa sa mga reason na hindi maganda na kaya kumukuha ng loan ay dahil lang sa walang magandang dahilan. Halimbawa, nagkasakit yung nanay ko, wala akong pambayad. Siguro mas ano pa yun na kumuha ka ng loan. Pero kung ang reason ay dahil sa wala lang,
Cellphone.
parang hindi yata tama yung kultura na yon sa atin na kumuha ng loan dahil sa gusto lang talaga kumuha.
Okay, so yung nasabi mo kanina na despite your efforts of attempting to save, na nadiderail siya because it's been taken away by life events na unexpected. At this stage in your life now, na-compensate mo na ba yun? Meron ka na bang na-replace na savings ngayon? Meron ka na bang kitty fund na nakaset aside na talaga na hindi mo na gagalawin?
Meron, pero kumbaga, it's not enough for me to feel secure about my future. Meron kung meron, but it's not enough for me to feel secure about my future. Especially how I saw my late father-in-law, like with his health concerns. I mean, 1 million is like 2 confinements and that's it. And the way doctors would charge you for their professional fees, hindi ko po kayo minimenos mga doctors. Pero, yun kasi talaga yun naman yung fee nila.
That's
And you
right.
have to pay them for their
That's
professional
right.
fee.
Hindi naman pwedeng tumatawad dahil
Precisely.
nakatodo-todo. Okay. So, doon naman sa mga bago pa lang din tune in or sinasabi, so what? I mean, we always use our guests as a learning tool. Of course, your experience might be different from Ana, but what we want to do or demonstrate here is Ana is like every one of us na she wants to make good in her life, she wants to be a better person for her family, pero yung ganitong mga challenges financially ang na-experience niya. So, even us, we have that. So, hindi laging puro bed of roses or looking through a glass of positivity yung pinipresent natin. Pati yung mga challenges, we have to present it sa inyo para balance yung point of view.
Kanina, bago tayo magsimula, napag-usapan natin yung kaibahan ng mga millennial sa panahon natin. Actually, nung isa sa mga interview natin sa Sun Life, na-discuss din natin doon na karamihan ng mga nag-i-invest sa Sun Life ay mga millennial.
Sila ang mas interested.
Medyo sila aggressive, high risk talaga ang kanilang appetite. So, balik tayo kay Ana kasi ito yung panahon natin at tayo yung panahon na conservative tayo kasi hindi tayo tinuruan eh. So, siguro explain mo pa, Ana.
Right. Precisely. The reason why we have this mentality, this is just my assumption, of course, was that our own parents saw savings as, saving for a rainy day. So it's the source of money should emergency happen in your life. So that was our concept of saving. Saving for a rainy day. And the way our parents thought of saving was like, just put it in the bank because that's the safest way where you could put your money. Don't invest it in stocks or kasi pag yun nawala, wala na. In a snap of a finger. I do remember that because I had that talk with my dad. So, hindi ko nakita yung kahalagahan ng pera for the future kasi ang mentality ko, ay, nandiyan si daddy. Siguro naman pag ako nag-asawa, nandiyan asawa ko. Diba? Kumbaga, which is realizing it later on in life.
Na hindi pala ganun yun.
Hindi siya ganun. It wouldn't work. The dynamic is not that way. I still find myself having to work 2-3 jobs just to compensate for whatever.
Hindi siya instantly mag-change. Hindi katulad nung napapanood natin sa pelikula na nakapangasawa ka na akala mo mayaman, instant millionaire
Precisely.
It's not the way.
And I think the reason why millennials have this mentality is because the parents like us are teaching, please learn from our mistakes. So, like ako, na-realize ko, shucks, kung tinuloy ko pala yung aking insurance at age 20. If I'm not mistaken, I started 22, 23. My gosh!
Malaking amount na yun.
Hindi siya malaki, pero it would be more than what I have right now. Right? But then kasi ang pagkakamali ko rin kasi, as a young person that time, whatever was offered to me, syempre bibigay sa akin mga high premium. Alam mo, pag ito yung inano mo, lakihan mo na. Syempre, mag-save ka. Syempre, kakagatin ko yun because I'm thinking, mas malaki return sa akin. Not thinking na, hello, part-timer ka, hindi...
Yung capability mo
yung
rin.
capability. Pwedeng okay ka ngayon, pero since part-timer ka or hindi ka permanent, dapat inisip mo muna kung kaya mo ba afterwards, which I did not have that sense of foresight. So, ang nangyari, hindi ko siya natuloy at wala ako halos nakuha doon.
Kaya, naalala ko tuloy, dun sa isa nating episode, we suggested several ways of earning more income para hindi lang one-sided
Right.
or ano tawag doon, yung parang kabayo ka lang. Dapat maging open ka rin to other opportunities. In your case, you chose to work for different employers.
Right.
Pero yung sinasabi naman namin, if that's not possible, mag-side hustle sila. Ikaw ba nag-side hustle?
Of course!
Ano mga pwede mo mabigay na tips na side hustle sa kanila?
Ako I host events.
Oh, yan. Kakaibang source of income yan.
Nag-aral ako mag-makeup kasi it's really a passion of mine. I learned how to teach English as a foreign language.
So, tutorial.
O tutorials. Madami akong pinasok. At nag-corporate din ako nung K-12.
See, ibig sabihin, you also find extra ways kung paano ka makakakompensate.
Right.
So, now, at this stage in your life, how are you preparing for your future?
Itong yung masaklap. And I hope those of you who are listening right now, FYI, I'm 48, I hope if you're or in your 30s, early 30s, or even mid-30s, think of your life 10 years from now or even 20 years from now. Kasi ako, ngayon ko lang siya nare-realize, 48. Parang isang araw, pag-isip ko, oh my God, ilang taon na lang, 60 na pala ako. Parang, teka, sandali, ang hirap dun, nagpagod ka, ilang tinrabaho mo, nasaan ka na? Okay? FYI, yung naipon ko was enough for me to be given a visa to prove that I can support myself during my stay here. Yon, to just give an idea. Pero, is that enough to support me
Long term.
for whatever events that may happen in my life as I near that age 60? No.
Alam mo, nakakatuwa yung perspective mo kasi dun sa previous episodes namin, nagkakaroon kami usually ng hypothetical case study. Anong mangyayari pag 20 ka, 30 ka, 40 ka, 50 ka. Pag 40, borderline ka na eh. Pag 50,
red flag na yun,
tipping ka na, tipping to the end. Pag 60 ka na, leave it, wala na.
Kaya nga totoo yung kasabihan na nasa huli
Huli ang
ang pagsisisi.
Totoo.
Okay. So kaya nga maganda yung mga kasing edad na natin na tinuturuan na natin yung ating mga anak kung paano yung tamang pagbabudget, pagsisave at pag-i-invest. Kasi huwag na nating antayin na dumating sila sa sitwasyon natin. Dahil napakahirap.
Yeah. So, alam nyo, napapasarap talaga yung kwento namin, but time is always an issue for Retirironaryo. We only have a limited amount of time. So, ang suggestion po namin, kung meron na naman kayong mga tanong, meron kayong mga comment below at mag-message kayo sa amin. You can email us at retironaryo@gmail.com. You can also suggest further topics. Kung ganito ang gusto nyo mga topic na pag-usapan natin tulad ng habang nandito ang ating guest, let us know para mag-prepare na naman tayo ng another topic such as this one. Ikaw ba may additional question ka pa?
That's it.
Okay, so final words, final message.
Invest early in your life because years pass by so easily. So, time is gold. Totoo yan. Invest in your life. Hindi lang yung life ng anak ninyo, pero life ninyo in the future.
Thank you, and kasama ka na rin sa aming advocacy.
Yeah, thank you so
and
much.
hopefully, sama-sama tayong maging retironaryo, di ba? Okay, so hanggang dito na lang po muli, Mimi,
Jarvis?
And Ana?
sama-sama tayong maging retironaryo. Bye-bye po!
Bye!
Yeah. Yeah.